All right, let's start laying down. Lay down on your back. Looks nice, Janet. Outside, inside, wherever you are. Animal friends around you, enjoy their company. Stretch your legs out if you like, or feet flat on the floor, whatever feels most comfortable to you right now, and just get grounded. Just get grounded, get centered, get present, just right here on your mat in this evening. And take some full deep breaths all the way in and all the way out of your abdomen. If you feel your thoughts just swirling around, just see if you can create some distance. Let your thoughts be there, but you become more of the witness. Like you're watching your thoughts, watching body sensations, watching the ebb and flow of your breath, the gentle moving in and moving out, oxygen, carbon dioxide. From here, you'll just draw your right knee up into your chest and give it a gentle squeeze. You can interlace your hands in front of your right shin. Maybe you move side to side. Take the thigh, leg side to side. Bring it back to center. Extend your foot to the ceiling, right foot towards the ceiling. Interlace your hands behind your right hamstring. And just low, yeah, and just press the hamstring into your hands. Press the back of your right hip to the ground. And if you can, and if you want, you can slide your hands up towards your calf or even up to the sole of your foot. Just extending the right heel up away from you. And then right there, you'll bend your right knee for half happy baby. You'll catch your foot with your right hand or both hands. Yeah, good, Dennis. Our strap works well too. So you hold on to the right foot or the shin. Take your right foot to the ceiling, Vanita. Yes. You bend the knee and the right knee moves towards the outside of the rib cage. Good. Yeah, just like that. And keep both shoulders pressing straight down towards the ground. And take one more breath. And then release that and extend the right leg out alongside the left. You can take your arms overhead and just get super long. Stretch through the whole body. Yeah, good. And then draw the left knee up into the chest. You can interlace your hands in front of the shin, below the knee. Maybe begin to move side to side. I was imagining like massaging the hip flexors in front of the hip. Good. And then extend your leg, hi MJ, your leg to the ceiling, left leg to the sky. So we're lying on our backs. Take your left leg up and interlace your hands behind your left hamstring. You straighten the leg, press your heel up away from you to whatever degree you can. Yeah, and you can even use a strap if you have one. Press the back of your left hip to the ground and extend the right foot away from you. Notice if your shoulders are lifting up or if there's some tension in the neck. Try to lengthen the back of the neck and press the back of the shoulders to the ground. So even really nice posture even here. Take one more breath. And then bend the left knee for half happy baby. You'll catch the foot or the shin or hold the knee, and you can take it out to the left a little bit. So you can either hold the knee and open it out or catch the foot with the left hand or both hands and bend, the knee down towards the left side of the rib cage. Good, MJ. It's like your footprint is standing on the ceiling. Good, yes. Here, I'll show you, like that. Good. Just like that. Take a full deep breath right here. Just noticing what you notice. And then release that and extend your leg out long on the floor. Extend your arms overhead. Just get as long as you can to the sides of your body. And then draw both knees into your chest and give a squeeze. See if you can wrap your forearms around your shins, reach for your elbow points. And then press your sacrum or tailbone to the ground. And press the back of your skull to the ground, just curling into a nice little ball on your back. And right there, you'll keep the knees into the chest, open your arms out wide, and then allow your knees to fall to the left. So they'll go together to the left, all the way to the floor. And then you can catch hold of your right thigh with your left hand if you like. Relax both shoulders to the ground. And you'll stay there in the twist and see if you can slide your left leg back behind you. So left leg will just slide on the floor. Yes. And then you'll lift up and catch your left ankle with your right hand. Good. I'm going to spotlight you, Beth, so everyone can see you and Dennis like that. Yeah, you catch your foot and then, you get your shoulders back to the ground. Great. And then the top leg, the right leg, you can extend out, straighten it maybe, and catch the foot or hold the outer thigh. Good, Dennis, or the shin. Dennis, you can place your foot into Beth's sacrum even. Right there, and give her a little press. Might feel good. And if not, you don't have to. Good, feels good, right? Try to get both shoulders to the ground. So let the right shoulder return back, to the ground. So there's this easy twist. Right here, we're really working with the fascia, the connective tissue. So we're stretching muscles and tendons, but also really the connective tissue that runs from shoulders to the hips, through the ribs, the waist, IT band down the side of the leg. Good, and then you'll very gently begin to release that. Come back onto your back. Good, you can bring both feet flat to the floor, scoot your hips back to center, pause. And then you'll draw your knees into your chest again, wrap your forearms around your shins, reach for your elbow points. See where you can catch. Maybe it's the wrists, maybe it's the forearms, maybe you grab the elbows around the knees and shins and pull down. So pulling the sacrum, pressing the sacrum or low back to the floor, back of the skull to the floor. And then open your arms, and this time allow the knees to fall to the right. Go to the right side. Yeah, really good. Yeah, and I see some of you scooting your hips to the left. That's fine. Good, MJ. Relax your left shoulder to the ground. First, we just allow the body to get familiar with this position. And then I'm going to spotlight you again, Beth and Dennis. And then now you'll slide the right leg back behind you. And then you'll lift up and catch the right ankle with the left hand. And then lower your body back down. Good. And then the top leg, you can keep it bent and hold on to the thigh or straighten it. And you can press it into a wall or a body or a desk. If you want to push your foot into something, it can feel nice. And try to keep the left shoulder on the floor. So you let the left shoulder just return to the floor. You can also just stay in a simple twist with both knees over to the right. So you only want to go as far as your breath allows. If your breath gets shallow or ragged or kind of bumpy, you can back out. You don't have to stay and hold it and suffer. Take a few more breaths right here. Good, and then you'll slowly and gently release, come back onto your back. Bring your feet flat on the floor, scoot your hips back to center. Good, and then you'll bring the soles of your feet together, knees apart. So come into Supta Baddha Konasana. And then you can keep your arms down, or one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, or wrap your arms over your head, reach for your elbow points, and allow the backs of the shoulders to rest on the floor. Take one more breath. Good, draw your knees together, give them a squeeze up onto your chest. And we'll take one more pose here. It'll be happy baby. So you'll reach for your feet, outer edges of your feet with your hands. Bend the knees, so both knees bent. Press your tailbone to the floor. Yeah, your feet face the ceiling. And then we're gonna do a bit of a hold right here. So we'll be here about 2 minutes. If you like to move, you can rock side to side. If you just wanna find some stillness, like that be still, that place of stillness inside. Like sensations might rise and fall, sounds and thoughts, and they come and go. Let the comings and goings of life just happen, and you just rest in this still place right here. So you can have your eyes open or eyes closed. Just the right amount of effort and a lot of ease. You're just like kind of between effort and ease. If it gets too uncomfortable, the discomfort's too great or becomes electric, change something. If you feel nothing and you want more, there's always that option. You can straighten your legs, kick your heels towards the sides of the room, the side walls. Get a little more hamstring length and opening. Take 1 more minute. And it's always interesting to notice, what comes up around ego, what comes up around the staying in something, especially when you're ready to get out. What happens if you stay just 1 more breath? And then one more breath after that. And just stay and be here. Good. And then draw your knees into your chest. And you'll begin to rock front to back. Roll front to back along the length of your spine. And come into downward facing dog. If you want to move through high plank, low plank, you can, or just come right into your downward facing dog. And downward dog is an upside down V shape. You pull your hips up towards the ceiling, press your heels down towards the earth, but they don't have to touch. Press your shoulders straight back, like towards your back, so the chest expands. Good. Root down through the knuckles of your hands, your index finger and thumb knuckle specifically. You can move, you can pedal it out, move your hips from side to side, or you can just be in stillness. And the nature of this class, the hips and heart openers and holds. Hold this one for a few more breaths, a few more moments. Boo. And rest your eyes to a single point. Amplify your breath, like full, deep ujjayi breaths into and out of your nose, making that whisper. There's a whisper sound at the base of the throat. Take one more breath here, one more. Good, walk your feet to your hands, ragdoll forward fold at the front of the mat. You can catch your elbows, ragdoll, maybe sway from side to side. Make sure your feet are hip width distance apart and parallel. You can have a softness to the knees, a gentle bend in the knees. Maybe shake your head, yes and no. And stay in your forward fold, but release your arms and then interlace them behind your back. See if you can clasp your hands behind your back and then press your shoulders to your back and stretch the arms up and overhead. And if you can't clasp your hands, see if you can hook your thumbs. See if you can hook the thumbs. Good, Vanita. Yeah, and press the shoulders more to the back. So you actually try to squeeze the shoulder blades together. Pin the shoulders to your back. Even if your knees are bent, press your hips up towards the ceiling. Press your hips up away from you. Good, release your hands to the mat. And then bring your hands to your hips. Point your elbows to the ceiling. Press your feet down and rise up to stand to come all the way up. Good. And then take your arms up overhead. Just a big breath in. And bring your hands to heart center, just standing in mountain pose. And bring your arms down by your sides. And we'll move through one sun salutation. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, bow forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, find a flat back. And then exhale, step back to a high plank. On top of a push-up position. Take a breath in. As you exhale, set your knees down. Go knees, chest, and chin. Lower your chest and chin, your hips to the floor. Good. And then cobra. Point your toes. Peel your chest up into cobra. Just nice and slow. Shoulders back, heart open. And then lower it down, tuck your toes under, press yourself back up and back to downward facing dog. Good, in downward dog, lift your right leg to the sky. Lift your right leg straight up and back. And then half pigeon, bring your right knee to your right wrist. Good. Nice. And then you'll fold forward in your half pigeon. So your right knee is forward. The right foot can be in line with the knee at a right angle or tucked under, maybe right foot towards the left hip bone. Back toes pointed or tucked under. Really breathing right here. Take one more breath. And come on up to your palms, tuck your back toes under, and step it back, downward facing dog. Good, lift your left leg up and back. Take your left leg to the sky. Bring your left knee forward to the left wrist, half pigeon. I'm gonna spotlight you guys again, Beth and Dennis. Love it, it's like two bodies in one, two variations in one. Good. I have a puppy in my lap. I can't get up and do the poses tonight. I have priorities. She's sleeping on me. And then like staying in it, breathing, feeling what there is to feel here. One of the things my teacher says often when we're holding poses is there's nothing to fix, nothing to change. Just maybe allowing for something. And then your next breath, tuck your back toes under, come on up, downward facing dog. Okay, good news, we're gonna do that again. Take your right leg up and back. Bring your right knee forward, half pigeon. So each time, we're gonna do it 3 times on each side. So each time, maybe you can get a little deeper. A right knee to right wrist. Yeah, same pose. Left leg slides back behind you. If you need to put a block under your hip, that's a great solution. Janet has a block under her hip. If the hip's way up off the ground or your hips are tight, or it feels really painful, yeah, you can use props. Just letting go of stress, tension, worries, concerns, what ifs, unknowns, just letting go of stuff that's like you can't control and getting present to what is right here. It's your physical body. It's never not in the present moment. Come on up, tuck the back toes, downward facing dog you go. You can stay there, move it about. And then left leg, take your left leg up, bring it forward, half pigeon, left knee to left wrist, left foot towards right wrist maybe. And you can stretch the right leg back if you want. Just settling in right here. I know for me, during this time I've shared before, my hips have always, most of my life, been fairly open, except now. and there is a different level of tightness than usual in my body. I heard that worry and fear create acid. Acid tightens the whole body. It creates tightness and inflammation in the body. So then I hear that, and then I take that to like, well, what needs to change then is my level of fear and worry. What can I shift? How do I shift my view, my thoughts, the patterns, the tapes that play? What can be shifted? Like using this practice to create shifts. Good. Come on back to downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Move your hips side to side. And like promised, we have one more. Take your right leg up and back and right knee to right wrist. Maybe bring your right foot towards your left wrist. Maybe the foot comes a little farther forward each time. Maybe something is loosening or shifting or letting go. Come down to your forearms. You can even come down onto your forehead and chest. Walk your arms out in front. Good, Vanita. And then just that reminder, like really who you are right here is whole and complete. Nothing to fix or change. Even if you have to change the pose, right? It's okay. You're honoring and listening to your body. Work, take one more breath, like a cleansing breath, a grand finale right here. And then step it back, downward facing dog. Pedal it out, move your hips side to side. I find as I move through this practice, this slower, longer holds practice, I get slower with my transition. So take your time. And then when you're ready, you'll take your left leg up and bring it forward. Half pigeon, just know there's no hurry. Plenty of time. Good, MJ. If you need to come onto your back, you come onto your back. If you need to put something, we're half pigeon on the left. Susan, are you here? That. Left leg forward, right leg back. Just melting in. Just keeping it simple right here. Send some nice deep breaths down into the hips. Take one more breath, nice and cleansing. Good, and then you'll go back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, you can move your hips side to side or pedal it out, or child's pose is fine too. Good, and then you're gonna bring your right knee forward again, like you're coming into half pigeon. I'll show you. Right knee forward, and then you'll take your left leg and swing it around. And it could be double pigeon, either right shin parallel to the floor, left leg on top, like that. Or it could be cow face, where you tuck the bottom leg under, right leg under, and left leg over. So you're more knee to knee. And there's slightly different variations of a similar stretch. So either double pigeon or cow face. And yeah, you have your right leg on the bottom, left leg on top. Nice. And then we'll add in an upper body stretch here too. So wherever you are, so it's left leg on top, you'll take your right arm up, bend it, and hold the elbow. Walk your right hand down to the middle of your back. And then that might be where you stay. You can stay here and lean forward, or you could take the left arm around, up, and the fingers meet. You can arch your arms, maybe, and then lean forward. If that just feels like too much, you don't want to do the arms, you don't have to. Or it could just be one arm. Make sure that arms are not pressing the head too far forward. So you actually want to press the head slightly back into the arms, chin slightly back towards the chest. Good. Root down through your hips. And breathe. But if you have the arms, you're going to release them and then come up. And then here's the transition. So you can take the top leg back and go back to downward dog, or you can walk your hands around to the right. So the feet don't move. You just pivot. You pivot and pivot and turn and pivot and then sit back down. You can go back into double pigeon on the other side, or through downward dog with the left shin in front. Good, yeah. So left shin's on the bottom this time, right leg's on top, or the opposite, however, opposite of last time. Take a moment. And then if you'd like to add the upper body, it's the left arm that comes up, bend the elbow and you hold it, press the head back, so you get that stretch to the tricep. And then maybe there's a lean, or maybe the right arm comes around full archer and you clasp your fingers, or you can use a strap or towel there too, or t-shirt or something. Maybe you lean in. And then you're focusing on this opening through the shoulders, the center of the chest, the heart space, along with the hips. And good, nice use of props. So either double pigeon, your shins are kind of stacked on top of each other, or cow face, where your knees are stacked on top of each other. Good, and then you'll release the arms if you have them archer and come up. And then we're going to do it again. We're going to pivot back around. So this time your hands go to the left and the feet don't move, but they pivot, but don't really pick them up. Just pivot, pivot, sit back down on the other side. Right leg's on the bottom, left leg's on top, or get there however you want. Double pigeon, sit up tall. If you want archer arms, it's right arm back, or maybe you just fold forward. Good, and then gently come on up. And we'll do that one more time. So you'll pivot back around, or you can just switch your legs right there, whatever you want. This time, left leg's on the bottom, right leg's on top. Flex your feet, which will support the knees. Trying to get the opening from the hips, keeping the knees stable and protected. And any, archer or no archer, lean in or not. Maybe you're more upright. Breathing. This one's opening the piriformis muscle, which is an external hip rotator. Yeah, so it might feel like unusually tight, like all the way up into the groin, hip flexors, and around the back of the hips. But just like relax, and I found the more I relax my jaw, the hips sort of follow. If I tense my jaw, the hips tense. Just notice in your body, like where else you're creating tension. Sometimes it's like in reaction to. Okay, good work. Come on up. And then take your legs out wide. So come into a wide seat. Yes. Nice. And then I like to bring my hands behind me. Yeah, you can stagger or turn sideways on your mat, however you want. And I put my hands behind me and I can scoop the hips forward. Try to keep the heels in one spot. Scoop forward. Get a little more opening. Stay upright right here. Take some breaths. And if the sensation feels really strong through the inner groin, you can bring your feet together like Baddha Konasana. You can bend the knees. It's a little bit less intense. And then from here, we're going to take it's like a twist. So let me think about it because I'm mirroring you. You'll turn your body to the right, towards the right leg. So you'll turn your whole torso to the right, like you're facing the right leg. But you're going to lean to the left. Then you'll lean to the left. And then take the right arm up and over, and you're turning your body to the right. And then the left hand can go wherever. I sometimes like it in front of me, and I pull the floor, which gets more twist, or you can catch your foot with one or both hands, or keep it back, whatever feels good. You can also press your elbow into the ground and rest your head on your left fist. Sometimes that's nice too. And the right arm can reach or rest over your head. Again, this is kind of opening the fascia, the whole side of the body, which gives access to the ribs, the lungs, the heart space. Remember to keep turning. You're turning your torso to the right. Good breathing. You're lucky when I'm doing it with you, I don't hold it quite as long. So give you more breaths. You've got it, Dennis. I like to keep my feet flexed and the backs of the thighs gently pressing down. So kind of a dynamic quality. All right, you'll let the right arm just gently unwind and pull you up. Bring your hands behind you. And again, sit up tall to get even. You'll notice a difference between the right and left sides of the body. Good idea. You might even scoop the hips forward another inch. You get to try the other side. And you can do this also with knees of feet together. So you'll turn towards the left leg, turn the abdomen left, and then lean to the right. And you can bring your elbow to the ground. I like that a lot. Rest my head. And the left arm can come up and over with a reach or a relax, or even hold behind the head. I'm always so fascinated by how different the right and left sides of my body are. Maybe you reach your foot with one or both hands. Lots of possibilities right here. Suffering's not one though. So if you're suffering through, make an adjustment. Shift something. This type of practice really takes something. Take something to stay and stay like grounded and present, rooted in the stillness. Stillness, even when there's strong sensation or thoughts or whatever, it's like I imagine it all just kind of swirling around. I'm right in the center, just finding that still point. Really good, and then you'll gently let the top arm pull you up or come on up. One more time, bring your hands behind you, sit up nice and tall. Maybe scoot the hips forward another inch. And then we're gonna come forward. You're gonna take your body forward, and it might just look like your hands come in front. Or maybe you start to walk forward to the forearms, or maybe you're flat on your belly, arms out. Maybe it's the sensation is just so strong that you want to bend the knees, bring the feet together. Janet, love it. You could be in Baddha Konasana instead of Upasvita Konasana. Take one more breath. Maybe sink in another inch. And then with your hands, you'll gently press yourself up. And then with your hands, if your legs are straight, you'll go under the knees. You loosen them, bring them together, take them out in front. Then keep the right leg straight. Bring the left foot to the inner right leg. And bring the left hand, left hand by the left thigh. What did I say? Right leg, what did I say? What leg straight? Doesn't matter. I think I said right leg straight. Left foot in. Okay, good. Let's do that. Right leg straight. Let's all be together. And then bring the right hand by your right hip. Take your left arm up. And there's another twist here. You're twisting your body to the right and then fold forward over the right leg. And then if you can, the back hand comes around to meet the front. Hold the foot. And if not, that's okay too. And then drop your forehead towards your shin. So John used Shavasana, or forehead, head of the knee to the sky pose. Really allow for this opening behind the heart, the back side of the body, the hamstring, back of the right hip, low back, all the way up to the space between the shoulder blades, the back of the neck. And use your hands to walk yourself up. And you'll switch to the other leg. Extend the left leg out. Bring the right foot in. The left hand by the left hip, right arm up, and then square yourself over the left leg and fold forward. Reach for your foot or your shin or the floor, and then back hand can come around to the front. Roll the right lungs towards the left inner thigh. Gently walk it up. Extend both legs straight out in front. You can slide your sit bones back, extend your arms up, and fold forward, seated forward fold. You can use a strap around your feet if you can't reach the feet. If you reach the feet easily, you can put a block there to get a little longer reach. And tuck your chin to your chest. Draw like there's a string attached to your sternum or your belly button. Try and pull it forward. Pull the belly button forward and the heart center forward. Just imagine you're opening the entire back side of the body right here. Here we go. Hi. Good, and then you'll gently come on up for reverse tabletop. So bring your hands behind you, your fingers facing forwards, bend your knees so feet flat to the floor, and then lift the hips up. Press your shoulders back, lift the hips, drop your head back, open your throat, front of the shoulders. Press down evenly into both feet. Good. See if you can lift an inch higher, hips an inch higher, chest an inch higher. And then set your hips down. Then the chest and head come up. You're going to come into fish pose. And if you have blocks, I would recommend coming onto blocks or a bolster. So we'll hold this for a little bit. So if you have two blocks, you'll place one this way and one that way. So one long and narrow and one wide and medium. If you only have one block, it'll go wide and medium or wide and short. If you have a bolster, you can do this on a bolster or blanket too that you'll lay long ways. And then you'll bring your hips to the ground and the block will come behind the ribs, so bottom of the ribs, right up to the middle of the shoulder blades. And the second block or pillow or your hands even can be behind your head. And then the arms come down with the palms facing up, so the shoulders externally rotate, chest center opens. And then the feet can be either flat to the floor or feet together, knees apart, more hip opening, Baddha Konasana. Or you can extend your legs out and let them just relax. Okay. Here you'll just gently come off the blocks. And then you can either take hips on a block or legs up a wall for an inversion. Or happy baby, take another happy baby pose. Or you'll slide a block right underneath your hips. Rest your hips on the block and take your feet up to the ceiling. Let the gravity reverse the pressure and flow that is usually on the legs and lower body. Eyes can close right here. I'd like to stay at least until I start to feel this beautiful pulsation in my ankles. I feel my heartbeat. Just really getting in touch with body's processes, just what sensations, just things that are always happening in real time that I often don't pay attention to. I think a lot of us spend a lot of time up in our heads doing our life. Our body can give us access to the present moment. What is? Sitting still. From here, you'll just bend your knees, bring your feet to the floor. If you're at a wall, you can stay. If it feels really comfortable, you want to stay at the wall, you can. Or you'll slowly come down and begin to make your way into Shavasana. So if you need any props, sometimes it's nice to put a blanket or blocks or something under the knees. So there's a little more ease to the lower back area. Pelvis, you can place a blanket under your head if you like. You can have whatever you need. Usually I say put a blanket on you, but it's still about 90 degrees here, so blanket might not be necessary today. Good girl, Bailey. Good girl. Today's reading for May 27th in the book Journey to the Heart. Stop punishing yourself with fear. It's time to stop punishing ourselves. Time to stop beating ourselves over the head with fear. This is the scenario. Fear enters our mind. Our mind takes it and runs with it. Something bad is going to happen. Something terrible and traumatic is on the way. We quickly review the traumas of our past and make the determination, yes, it's very possible that this devastating event will happen. So we sit crouched in the present moment, full of fear and dread. We worry that the worst that could possibly happen probably will. We begin to believe that it is most likely waiting at our doorstep. ready to pounce on us and steal our joy, our peace, our place and rhythm in the universe. Because we have harbored the fear so intensely, it has already manifested itself. The thing we fear doesn't need to happen. It already has, or it might as well have, because we are already forcing ourselves to live through it. Yes, many awful things have happened to you and me that we are very sorry happened, but that doesn't mean that we have to give up the beauty of the present moment to something that hasn't happened yet. Even if it does happen sometime in the future, by harboring the fear, we will have lived through it twice as long as we need to. Recognize and acknowledge your fear. Then release it. Let go of the energy. Stop punishing yourself. While life's seasons may not always be fair, they are trustworthy. And within each day, each moment of each season, there is a way of peace and joy. Do not allow fear of what if to ruin the joy of what is. Slowly begin to bring your awareness back to your breath. You can wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Maybe stretch your body in any way that it's craving or needing. Bend your knees and roll to a comfortable side to curl into a fetal position. And from that side, with your eyes closed, press yourself up to a seated posture. Eyes remain closed, your attention drawn inward. And touch your palms together. And bring your thumbs to your heart centers. It's a place to acknowledge you, acknowledge yourself, acknowledge the discipline it took to show up on your mat today, acknowledge how you feel right now. And lift your thumbs to your forehead center. And here's where we take a moment and really acknowledge each other. And even though we're not physically in the same room, we're still in the same space. So I acknowledge each of you. Namaste.